Hello, everybody. How's it going? It is Matt, and it is Terrifying Tuesday, and I am back at you with yet another review. Before I roll on to any of that, I want to wish each and every one of you a great morning, evening, dawn, day, or dusk, all that lovely stuff, because life really is too short as is. Do me a really huge favor and like, share, and subscribe. I love seeing your beautiful faces when I am here. I know it's an awful lot, but I have an awful lot on my schedule to review. And one last little tidbit of information, check out the description box. I give you a bigger bite of every single movie of every single day. I give you your brief synopsis, which I hardly ever write that. I'm a talker, I'm not a writer, folks. Let's just face that. I give you your starring cast, your director, your runtime of the cut I am watching, along with a link for a trailer, a link for where you can rent this one or purchase it if you like. And if you decide you can help, there's a link for if you can toss me a couple of bucks and help support the channel. I greatly appreciate that. And now with all that out of the way, let's roll on to the film of the day. And today's is a good one. It is a winner. It is a winner chicken dinner all the way through from beginning to end. Now, is this movie for everyone? No, it is not. This is only going to be for people that enjoy a good slow burn, because this is one very, very, very slow burn. Granted, it is very story driven, it is very dialogue driven, it is very good in that aspect. It is extremely well written. What is it about? It is the movie Remnants. It came out in 2023. It is listed as 2022 on IMDb, but I'm going with the release of Amazon, which is 2023. That is the only place that I know of where you can rent and watch this movie as of now. It is not out for sale yet, but you can buy it digitally. What is it about? Well, it is about three friends. We have a male and two females. They are basically it is the end of the world, essentially. It is a post-apocalyptic type film. They are on the run from these things that they call vapors, which are basically what they are, zombies. They are very creepy creatures, that's for sure. There is not a lot of them in the movie, so if you're looking for a full heavy zombie movie, this is not your movie. They do appear in the movie, yes. You see them in multiple places throughout the movie. Granted, most of the action is not until the final sequence. So you gotta go through a lot of dialogue, a lot of backstory, a lot of figuring out who your characters are before you get to that final post-apocalyptic throwdown that you get, which is actually really cool. But these three friends, they are on the run from these vapors. They are stopping from place to place and collecting goods, weapons, tools, food, anything that they can use for their survival, essentially, their own existence, to keep it thriving. That's what they are doing. They stop off. What ends up as our final place, where they end up hanging out the longest, is a kind of like, it's a house on the beach. They are raiding the area. At one point, our girl, she is out hunting, and she actually even comes across a couple, a male and female, all the way from Mexico, and they have made it all the way up into the Northeast. So they have, I believe that's where they are, is the Northeast. but they are up very, very, very north. Um, and they were essentially, how they got there were they were on a boat, and they had to leave the boat because it got overtaken, one of those ordeals. Very harrowing ordeal. But they have a little bit of dialogue between them, and then they go off and you eventually see them again later on in the movie a couple of times, but they are not main players. Hence why I did not really throw them in the starring cast for this. I just went with our main three. It is Cash, Mason, and I believe Skyla or Sky. I can't remember. I'm terrible with names, but she does a very good job in the role. I'm not going to lie. All three of our characters, all three of our main role, are very, very good in this. As a matter of fact, one of them is played by the director himself. The director, this is the first thing I've seen of any of his work. I am curious to see anything else from him because this was done so well. The production value is so good and so on point that it really sucks you into the story for an hour and 35 minutes. It really does a good job keeping you distracted from that timer. Although I only checked the timer at one point, and that was just as a curiosity's sake, to see how far in I had made it, and it was already over an hour in at that moment. So it moves very, very smooth. The story carries very swell. Like I said, they're out raiding. They're coming across other vapors in other areas. It's one that I don't want to give away too much about the movie itself, because those of you that do decide to check out Remnants, I want you to actually sit down and pop you a bowl of popcorn and actually turn off the lights and pay attention, because this is one that you have to pay attention to. There are no distractions, no nothing to divert your attention off the screen, because it is so story driven. Our characters are just have such interesting backstories, and how they became and why they are where they are now, and it's just really just an interesting film all the way through. Now, I know a lot of you probably will probably say, "Hey, Matt, you don't do movies like this too often. What drew you to it?" I'm not gonna lie. I saw the name, saw the premise, and that's what drew me to it. I really am a sucker for post-apocalyptic films, and so this will get your fill for post-apocalyptic. It's more along the lines of something like The Road, not anything like Mad Max or Road Warrior or anything like that type of post-apocalyptic. It is more like The Road, which is an extremely well made film. It's so depressing. Even this one is depressing in places, because the story, the way it goes in so many directions, it just really has some Debbie Downer moments where, like, one of our characters, his wife is sick, and you find out about that whole situation. And just the whole Cash, his character, his whole upbringing, and how he became who he is kind of a Debbie Downer, but it makes you feel good for him, because he is at least risen above, and he has done so well to survive in such horrible conditions. One of those kind of ordeals. Now, on to my 3 things that I like my movies to meet. First and foremost, audio. Audio is so crisp and clean. Like I said, the production value of this is off the charts good. It gets an A+ on audio. I never once misunderstood what was being said. I never had to rewind it and replay to rehear what a character has said. There's even some Espanol being spoken. Granted, I speak very little, but they had subtitles on there. And the subtitles were perfectly placed and were not. I know some movies tend to not think about what color that they are putting their subtext in. Their subtitle text in, because it'll blend into the background. This did not do that. It was 100%. I could read it all the way through. It was perfect in my opinion on that aspect. So on audio, it gets an A+. Dialogue, that is where everything is the main attraction to this movie. It has some extremely heavy dialogue. It has a lot going on with that. Everything that is being said is believable. You think that characters like this would say things like that. The story arc of the dialogue is very, very good in its aspect as well. It never once lags or makes you go, why did they say that? So it gets an A+ there. Now on to editing. Editing is also extremely very well done. There is never a moment in here that doesn't make sense. There is only one continuity error that I noticed, and that was with Mason's gloves. Or at least I didn't catch him put them on. He couldn't find them, and then all of a sudden they said, oh, they'll turn up, and then next thing you know, he has them on. Sure, yeah, maybe they explained it away that way by saying, oh, they'll turn up. That was the only like really thing that I noticed that I was just like, but the rest of the movie I feel is spot on. It is a very good movie. So it gets an A in editing. So we got an A+, an A+, and an A. On my final score, a 1 through 5, it's going to get a 4.5 out of 5. It is a very, 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 very well made film. I feel like I wished I could have got to this a little sooner for the Halloween season. But I still feel like it is perfect for the fall season, because everything is dying off, as far as not wildlife, as far as plant life goes outside. It's dying off, and we are now we are now in the middle of fall, and the leaves are everywhere, and so it's very, very deep, dark, and cold and depressing. So I feel like this is still a very perfect film even for the month of November. So definitely check out Remnants from 2023. It is definitely well worth your watch. And definitely check out the information in the description box. Once again, I gave you where you can watch this thing. It's $4.99 on Amazon Prime, $8.99 to buy it on Amazon Prime. So it is well reasonably priced. Definitely well worth your watch. All right, guys, love your faces. Hope you have a fantastic day. I'll be back at you with another review tomorrow. And as always, peace.